Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors. My name is Chris, and it's a beautiful Monday morning here, bringing it to you from a bright and sunny Westlake Village, California, where we look at Bitcoin's price action, traditional markets like the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and we look at gold and silver, and we take a look at the dollar. We cover a few of our favorite altcoins, but the main focus today is Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance here. I'm going to pull that up real quick, and Bitcoin dominance coming in at a 41 on the weekly. You can see here we have a lower low, lower high, and another lower low. So I am expecting a little bounce here, but continuation with the overall downtrend is likely, I would say. Now, open interest is at about 8.9 billion, coming down from 12 billion. Suggesting longs, we're taking profits on Bitcoin's price action here. And that's coming in from, that region at about 52,000. So jumping into the price action charts themselves, I do want to start off with the CME, and we did get a move down to 44, or call it 43.3. And I do suspect we get a little bit of a bounce here. If the bounce fails to get back above, and this is our 4-hour time frame, if it fails to get back above 46,100, our last 4-hour high, which we did. So if that fails to happen, and in combination we close on a lower low today, so that's anywhere below this last low on, call it 44,650. I would look at that as general, continuation of trend. We got lower highs and lower lows. So we are short-term, medium-term bearish, and in a downtrend on all the time frames here. Alongside, we have volatility just beginning to expand on the daily. So not looking too hot there. But if this bounce can get back above 46,000, and I'll just I marked it off there. Any kind of a bounce above 46,000, that would be our first kind of warning signal that the we're going to play a move up towards that $48,000 to $49,000 region. But as for now, if that does fail, I would consider targets around 42,000 to 40,000 as the next kind of major breakdown. So any kind of a 4-hour closure below 42,000, below this level here at 44,000, I would extend target down to 42,000. And why would I be looking at that 40 to 42,000 region as a major buying opportunity? Well, I'll throw on our hash ribbons indicator, which we have been going over the past few months, but on a daily time frame. And what we have said is that once we've printed a blue buy signal on the daily time frame, Bitcoin has never come back and broke the last prior daily higher low, which is at 38,000. If you go back and back test it, we have seen Bitcoin come back and touch, within 7% of the last daily higher low, which would be right around 41,000, or call it 40 to 42,000, somewhere in that region. But it has never broken below it before making new all-time highs. So I will generally stick with that bias to the upside unless we get some kind of a black swan event, or some kind of a closure back below 38,300. Call it 38,000 to be even. So overall, again, 40,000, major buying opportunity, and we've gone over that in the past. And if another point for the bulls, or a little bit of a hopium, I would say, is this. If we look at the quarterly chart, so every 3 months, which we will be having a quarterly closure here at the end of this month, and if we can close the quarterly anywhere, let's put this on a log, anywhere above the topside Challenger band, then I would say that, September You know, I would say over the next 3 months, you know, I'd be looking for a more bullish outcome towards the end of the year. And September probably finishes the month, you know, sideways. So any kind of a closure, 3 month or quarterly closure above the topside Trailing band coming in right at about, I think it's coming in here at about 42,500, then that would be a point for the bulls. Now, here's what I will say again, though. As long as this bounce fails and we fail to get above if we fail to get back above 48,000, call it 49,000, the 618 fib on this bounce, then I would be trading confidently to the downside, as that would just be another lower high on the daily, and then we would be looking for some more lower lows. What else do we have playing into these markets? Traditional markets, NASDAQ coming down significantly. We did identify the weekly bearish closing last week, and I would be looking for a test coming down on the NASDAQ to about 15,000. If we close below there, I would be looking for about 14.5, and that would still technically be just higher lows on the daily, somewhere around 15,000. That is where I'd be looking towards. And then you've got S&P 500 and Dow Jones already kind of making the moves down. So that, you know, is a little bit of a bearish. And if we were going to get kind of a more bearish move or correction, I'd suspect it'd be towards the end of the year. And that would look like something like NASDAQ, you know, coming down to about 14 or even lower to 13.5, somewhere around that region. That would be the 15 to 20% correction that I think we've been talking about is due at some point for the market that never goes down. So that would be 14% would be 13.5, and then 20%, you know, would be down to about 12,500. Okay, let's jump on to Ethereum real quick, as Ethereum is still kind of holding it up here. Ethereum on the daily. So again, if we get a closure on a lower low today, that's not going to be looking good. I'd be extending, you know, on a 4 hour, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty here. So any kind of a 4 hour closure below, call it 44,200. And I am going to extend our target down to about, excuse me, that's Bitcoin. On Ethereum here, any kind of a close. So we have this ascending triangle right here. And if you take the measure move, any kind of a 4 hour closure below, call it 3,200. And I'd be looking for a quick move down to 2950. However, I do suspect we play out a little bounce here. And if we can close any kind of a daily or a 4 hour back above 3440, then I would, you know, extend that move back up to about 3,600. And that's, again, where we're looking for the potential bull trap here. And if you do the 618, that would be coming in right here at about the 618, somewhere between here, 36 and 3,700. And we do need to get, you know, closing some dailies back above there for this trend to reverse. We did say on Solana here, Solana, we were looking at the daily and we were saying, look, this thing is likely to keep on its upwards trajectory as long as we're closing above the topside Trailing band. As soon as we closed below here, which was back on the 8th, I think Thursday last week, we did expect a move down somewhere around 150 to 160, which we've got that. Now, if you're looking at the lower term time frames, looks like we are putting in a little bit of a bounce here. But any kind of a bounce that fails to get back over 182 is just going to be lower highs and, probably continuation to the downside target of about 130 and with potential to move lower. So any kind of a 4-hour closure below 151, and I would extend the target down to about 130, somewhere in that region. Any kind of a closure above 181, I'm going to extend the target back up to somewhere in the mid 205, 207 region. So that's Solana. Now Tezos, which has really been rocketing up here. Tezos has been on the leaderboard almost every day. And I would say right now, even with a 4-hour closure, anywhere above 750, as long as we're maintaining 4-hour closure above 750, I would extend the target up to about 875 on Tezos. Okay, any kind of a 4-hour closure below there, and I'd be expecting a move back down somewhere, any kind of a 4-hour closure below, back below here, I'd expect to move at least back down to about 650. So Tezos and Hex. Hex is somewhere, it's been very popular in the news, and everybody's been following Hex, and it is just getting murdered to the downside right now. And with this one, since it just was in a generational rally, and we are expecting some pretty wide ranges, what I would say here, any kind of a tick below 33 cents, and we're probably heading down to about 25 cents. If you look at this on a daily here, if we do close lower than yesterday's low, I would extend targets down to about 33 cents at a minimum. If you take a look on a 2-day, 2-day looks like we want to come down to 32 cents already. And 3-day would be down to about 29 cents. So I'd say we'd look at some bouncy areas around there for Hex. And I'll leave it off with Cardano here. Cardano, which is another one taking it on the chin. And that's why we identify, risk management areas. So Cardano here looks like on the daily, playing out a little bit of a bounce here on the 12-hour. So what we don't want to see is a 12-hour below 238 on the 4-hour. Any kind of a closure below 224, that's going to look very bad for some more downside, maybe back down to about $2. Any kind of a closure back above, I'd say a 4-hour back above 270, and that'll probably give us a target back up to about $3. So that again is kind of the bear trap, bull trap scenario. What would be a bull trap? Well, we come up to here, we reject, and we come back down for more lows. How are we looking at on a daily time frame? So we do have a lower high, we have a lower low, and we do have volatility expanding from a very low region. So what happens? What happens if you flip this chart around and you go like this? Where is it? That's not it. What am I looking for here? I want to invert the chart. There you go. So if you invert this chart, and you can see, I'd say any kind of a closure below 223, and you're extending targets to $2 and then to $1.50. Do I think that's necessarily happening? No, I do think the market is about to bounce here, kind of get everybody fearful, and then we get a bounce and we see if we get the bull trap or the bear trap, right? And what would be the bull trap? Well, we come up here on Bitcoin, and again, Bitcoin's going to rule this market. It's going to lead the market. Altcoins are going to do typically what Bitcoin does, but more. And off this fib retracement here, again, the levels 48,900. We need to get a daily closure, some kind of a bounce here, and a daily closure back above 49,000, and I would be willing to call this a bear trap. However, any kind of a failed bounce, and we're probably looking for some lower targets. So that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here today, guys. Hope you had a wonderful day and a blessed day. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.